What is the difference between a Polishe Rebbe and a Chabad Rebbe?
The Rebbe always talked about the idea of Nasi Yisrael, Nasi B'Yisrael. And he would bring from the Sefer Kehilas Yankev, which is based on, it's an encyclopedia of Kabbalah, or a dictionary of Kabbalah, that Nasi is Rosh Tevis, Nitzutze Shel Yankov Avinu, the spark of Yankov Avinu. And of course, by Yankov Avinu, we know what the Gemara says, that he was main Shufra da Adam Rishon, which explained in Chassidus and Kabbalah, Adam Rishon was one man who included all the neshamas that would ever exist. And Yankov was main Shufra da Adam Rishon, he also included all the neshamas of the Jewish people that would ever exist. Nitzutze Shel Yankov Avinu means there's a Nasi in each generation who includes all the neshamas of that generation. This, of course, is also called a Rebbe, and a Rebbe is Rosh Tevis Reish B'nai Yisrael, the head of the Jewish people. And the Alter Rebbe says in Tanya about the idea of Reish, the head, that the whole body, chapter 2 of course, the whole body forms from the head. The body is felt by the head and managed by the head and unified by the head. So even when the body is made up of Ramach, Eividim, Shesak, Gidim, all the way down to Shairis, V'tzipanayim, the Mayach Shabarosh, the brain and the head is the nerve center of the whole person. And mystically, spiritually speaking, that's the concept of a Rebbe, a Neshama Klolos, a general soul that includes all the Neshamas of the generation. And there's a Sicha from the Rebbe, and it's also in the Rebbe's Reshimis, that the previous Rebbe once told the Rebbe, in regarding to a certain question that he asked, Vos Retztu, a Rebbe is not eine. What are you saying? A Rebbe is only one. In other words, it's so long as one Rebbe lives, this the Rebbe who is going to be Mamala Makemi is not a Rebbe, because there's only one head in each generation. Accordingly, the Rebbe always said that the Nasiya Chabad, the Rebbes of Chabad, beginning with the Alter Rebbe and the Mittler Rebbe and the Tzemach Tzedek and the Rebbe Marash, the Rebbe Rashab, the Frierdiker Rebbe and the Rebbe, were the Nasi of their generation. So there's a huge difference between the Nasi Hador, the Rosh B'nai Yisrael, and other tzaddikim. There's all kinds of tzaddikim. And perhaps they may be a klal for a certain segment of neshamas, for a certain Eidah of neshamas, and so on. But in every generation there's one Rosh B'nai Yisrael which is connected to all the neshamas of the generation, literally. And he feels them and he's mashpia on them, like it says in L'Kutei Torah in Parshas Ba'aleischa, that not only is he the source of the Ruchni is the Kashpa, he's the source of the Gashmi is the Kashpa as well. So there's a very big difference, according to this principle, between Nasiya Chabad and other Nasiya. This is in terms of the Neshama. It's a whole different level of Neshama. A Rebbe, a Neshama Klolos. And of course the Rebbe has Siches where he talks about Moshe Rabbeinu. And by Moshe Rabbeinu he brings that when he was born, the Smala Abayis Kula Oira, the house was entirely filled with light. And basically what the Rebbe brings out is normally a person is not born a tzaddik. Even the biggest tzaddikim become a tzaddik during their lifetime. And the Pesach Chatas Revis is always a sakana. Moshe Rabbeinu didn't have those in Yonim because the moment he was born he was already Moshe Rabbeinu. Because the Reish B'nai Yisrael, the Neshama Klolos, from the moment he's born, his presence in this world fills the house with light. In other words, he never came into the world to be an individual, a private neshama. His inyan is klal for the whole community, and therefore he's above the struggles that an ordinary person has. So it's another very big difference, another aspect that separates the way the Rebbe explained what a nasi of klal Yisrael is from other tzaddikim. This is all in terms of the madreg of the neshama. But in addition to that, you also have the difference in the shita, the role of the Rebbe relates to Chassidim. And Chassidus, of course. And of course here we have the famous difference that in the derech of Chassidei Polen there was the idea of a tzaddik b'menasa yichya al tikra yichya eli yechaya, that the tzaddik had the Chassidus by him and he gave life to the Chassidim through their emunah in the tzaddik. So the Chassidus, which is the gili of Yechida, the Oir Asmi of Elokus, remained by the tzaddik, and the Chassidim were benefiting from the warmth and the light and the life of the tzaddik by their association. And in Chabad, the Rebbe actually gave us the Chassidus itself in Chochmah Bina V'das. We're able to learn it and understand it and internalize it, and that we're able to access the Eir Atzmi of Chassidus in a way of avoida, meaning to say it's not by direct association with the tzaddik, it's through our own efforts we're able to be Megala, our own neshama, and connect to the Eibush on a level of Pnimius. Those are just 2 points. There's probably many more, but this is a brief answer to that question.